Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now, who do we have here with us? Ah, Mr. Lim, is it? Mr. Lim, if you can hear me, perhaps you can give me a thumbs up. Okay, right. Mr. Lim, are you there? Okay, right. So, Mr. Lim is here. Good morning, Mr. Lim. Now, uh, so my audio is working. Right. Today's topic is for today's topic conversation. I would like to share with you about lollipop moments. Yeah. So my question to Mr. Lim is, when was the last time you had a lollipop, and what is your favorite flavor? Chocolate, orange, lemon, strawberry. Yep, chocolate. Okay, great, fantastic. Fantastic. If you are in a classroom, then perhaps I can give you one lollipop, yeah, chocolate flavored lollipop. Right. Now, the inspiration for today's topic, besides the various books that I've gone through, talking about Mandela and Gandhi and Barack Obama and a few other great leaders of the world, lollipops. Lollipops inspired me. And what is it about lollipops? It's from a video, a short video on TED Talk. And I would like to share with you the link. So instead of sharing with you the video share screen, I find that that one is not clear. There's a lot of lag, and there's an issue with the audio. We tested a few rounds. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to give the link. And Mr. Lim, could you please click on the link and watch the video clip? It's just a short one. I think about 5 minutes. Yeah. And then we talk about it. Okay, so let me just get the link for you. Okay, and here's the video clip that inspired me to name this topic, Lollipop Moments. All right, so Mr. Lim, could you please click on the link and watch the video? Okay, thank you very much. Now, I hope you managed to watch the videos, yeah? So, who do we have here today with us? Right, for those of you who managed to watch the video, were you able to watch it in the first place? Let me ask Mr. Lim. Mr. Lim, were you able to watch the video? Perhaps you can indicate to me by giving a thumbs up. And we have also Nora Izati, and we have Karen and Atika. Yeah. So if you managed to watch the video, perhaps you can give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, you can watch it later. Right. Any responses? Anyone? Anyone managed to watch the video? No? Yes? Yes. All right. Great. Fantastic. All right. Yeah. The question is, do you have anyone who said something to you or did something to you that has changed your life or that has made a tremendous impact in your life? Do you know of any such person? Yeah, so think about it. Think about people who have made a difference in your life simply by doing something or saying something as simple as words of encouragement, as simple as giving you something. Yeah. Uh, for example, there's Drew Dudley. He went around giving people lollipops. Yeah, and that gesture has made a big difference in one of the students in a university. Yeah, who just enrolled. Right. So your homework, perhaps for the next few weeks after this coffee conversation is perhaps you can get a few lollipops. Yeah, perhaps 3 lollipops, and then give it to a person who has made a difference in your life, or rather, who has made a difference in other people's lives, and acknowledge that. Yeah, that is what the presenter or the speaker is trying to say brutally. Yeah, uh, we think that leadership is something beyond us. We think that leadership is something like changing the world or being a politician. He says that he posits that leadership is something that we, every one of us, can demonstrate, can do on a regular basis by just doing small, tiny gestures. Yeah. All right. Now, so allow me to share with you lollipop moment. So I was on my way to Penang for a team building program, and the organizer arranged for a van because there were a few of us, the trainers and the facilitators. We were on our way to Penang, and towards our destination, we stopped at a place to have a meal, to have a lunch. So we got about 2 tables. There were about, I think, 7 to 8 of us. We got the table, and then we were about to have lunch when I noticed that the organizer, or rather, he's called also the boss, yeah, the manager of the company. He stood up and he walked towards the end of the restaurant. It's an open, outdoor, open area restaurant. Yeah, and he picked up the plate of the van driver and walked back to our table. Yeah, he put the plate down and gestured to the driver to come join us. So yeah, the van driver is not part of the team. Nevertheless, this manager didn't want the van driver to feel left out. Didn't want he wants to include the van driver in having lunch with us. To me, that was a lollipop moment. To me, that was a gesture that shows humility, and also it shows inclusiveness. Yeah. So he it didn't occur to me that the van driver was sitting alone at the end of the restaurant about to eat, and it didn't occur to me to extend an invitation to get him to join us. So this all happened within a split second. I was about to eat and I saw that happening. Yep, my manager standing up from the table, going towards the van driver's table, getting his plate of lunch and putting it on the table and gesturing for him to join us. So for me, that was a moment. For me, that was a moment in leadership. I would say one of the things that show that you these tiny gestures show not who you are as a manager, not who you are as a boss, but rather who you are as a person. Yeah. Now, so after the program, I bought a lollipop and I gave it to my manager. I gave it to the boss, and I told him that so and so, I think you deserve a lollipop. Now, of course, yeah, he was like, hey, what is this for? What is this lollipop for? Then I explained to him. I explained to him that what you did, and I told him the video clip as well, and I said that that was a profound moment for me. Yeah, it was a oh wow, all right, great. So if you have experienced anyone who has said or done anything that you think has left a profound impact on you or on other people, and and you've witnessed it, please do acknowledge it. Yeah, please do acknowledge it. It's a matter of acknowledging and therefore encouraging people to continue doing what they're doing. So anyone here has a lollipop moment? Anyone here has experienced something that's being said or done to them that has left a profound impact on your life? Yeah. Anyone? No? All right. So if you do have, please feel free to share. Yeah. Let's have a conversation regarding it. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, I have a few statements, and I'd like to know whether you agree or disagree with these statements. Yeah. So I'm going to be posting a few statements in the feed column, the feed section. Do have a look and let me know if you agree or you disagree. All right. Statement number 1. Would you agree with this? Anyone? Agree or disagree? Atika disagrees. Okay. What about the rest? Any responses? Okay. So a question to Atika. Atika, do you have social media like Facebook or Instagram? Yeah, all right. So you do have, yeah. Now, I'm guessing that Atika, you do have followers on your Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. All right. Great. Now, because you have followers on Instagram and Facebook, does that make you a leader? Does that qualify you to be called a leader? No. Okay. So now that is a no with an exclamation mark. Yeah. Right. Why? Why not, Atika? Why does that not qualify you to be called a leader? I thought leader is someone who has followers. Yeah. Okay. Is it because you don't consider yourself a leader? Or is it because those are not followers, rather those are just stalkers and admirers and also likers? or fans. Okay, now this because let's see, she's got reverse. I feel like I didn't bring anything good for others. Interesting. Okay, okay. But nevertheless, you do have followers, yeah. It's just that you feel that you didn't bring anything good for others. Okay, okay. We'll talk about it later. My next statement is a leader is someone with titles such as Dato, Doctor, Professor, Tengku, Tan Sri, Colonel, Captain, etc. Agree or disagree? Okay, disagree. Atika disagrees. Okay, thank you very much. What about this last one? This last statement. Women make better leaders. Agree or disagree? A very good example now that is very talked about is Jacinda Ardern, yeah, the Prime Minister of New Zealand. She's very much talked about. And then closer to home, you have people like Zeti Aziz. Okay, Atika, do you think women make better leaders, or men make better leaders, or it's the same? It doesn't matter. Okay, right. It doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter to you. Okay. So based on that statement, yeah, women make better leaders. The follow-up question would be, would you rather work for a for a lady boss or a lady leader, or would you work for a guy? Would you work for a leader who is a guy, or would you work for a leader who is, or would you follow a leader who is a lady? Yeah. Uh, this is one of my favorite questions as a follow-up to this statement number 3. Women they make better leaders. So would you work for a lady boss or a man boss? Yeah. And the responses are very interesting. And some of us, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, right now, let's see what we have here. So this topic of leadership is something that I would say is a classic evergreen topic that is continuously talked about, especially now. Yeah, when there's a difficult time, when times are challenging, uh, who who can really step up to the plate and do something about this situation? Uh, that will that will really test your capacity, your ability as a trainer. Now, if you look at, for example, Justin Trudeau, yeah, the Prime Minister of Canada, when he took over the country, everything was going well. Yeah. There was no crisis whatsoever. So I would say that just sit in office and do as necessary, and that's it. I didn't leave an impact, like what Atika said. So what changes or what impact did he leave in the country in during his administration? Right. It's the same with Jacinda Ardern as well. When she was elected, well, people thought nothing great about it. When she took over the country, things were going well. Yeah. But now, because we have a crisis, this is when you get to see who really shines as a leader. They say that to test the power of tea, to really taste tea, of a tea bag, you need to put it in hot water. Yeah. So that means that to know the strength, the aroma, yeah, the flavor of the tea bag, it's got to be in hot water. And that hot water is a crisis. So now that we are having a crisis, which is the hot water, which leader would show his or her true qualities? Okay, so Atika has a response. She says that for me, the quality as a leader is inside of the person. It doesn't matter the gender. All right, thank you very much. So it's about what he or she does, yeah, not what he or she is. All right, got it. Thank you very much. Okay, so one thing about leadership, or studying about leadership, you can do it I would say the serious way, which is about leadership books and read biographies, or you can do it the fun way, which is using Hollywood movies and also superheroes. It's because we are not biased when it comes to superheroes. We don't think about superhero as, oh, he's from this country, he's from that country, therefore there's a bit of biasness, yeah. And we tend, of course, with every person, there are skeletons in the closet. We have doubts over the person. But when it comes to superheroes like the Avengers, like Iron Man, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Thor, yeah, we tend to look at it with a more open mind. Yeah, we're more receptive and non-biased about it. But there are a lot of leadership lessons in those movies. Now, if you watch Thor, there's a scene whereby Thor is being what do you call it, expelled from Asgard. Yeah. So the king, which is Odin, expelled Thor, and it makes you wonder why was he expelled? What was the real reason as to why Thor was being expelled? Yeah. So I don't know if you are fans of superheroes or fans of DC and Marvel, but I would recommend that Thor. Yeah, the very first one when Thor was expelled. Okay, right. Maybe I'll show you a video clip later. Yeah, how Thor was expelled from the. Right. No, based on what Atika said, yeah, it doesn't matter the gender. What matters is what is inside of them. So what is inside of them? What is inside of them that makes them a leader? Yeah. If it's not their titles, then what? And also the question is, are some people just born to be a leader? Is leadership something that either you have or you don't have? Like I've come across a person who is quite high up in management in a multinational company. She said to me that, Surain, forget about all these leadership programs and seminars. Yeah, leadership is something that you either have it or you don't have it. There's no point talking about it. There's no point attending programs on leadership. It's either you have it or you don't. So that is quite a bold statement. However, I didn't get to get into a conversation with her further. Yeah. So Atika, I would like to know, what is it inside the person? Yeah, the quality inside of a person makes him or her a leader. Yeah. And how would you know that this person has these qualities? For example, the story that I shared with you, the quality of humility, the quality of inclusiveness. I only saw those qualities in that manager when he did something. So his action showed his quality of humility and inclusivity. Yeah. Again, with a tea bag, you can only know the strength of the tea bag, the taste, the aroma of the tea bag, only when you dip it in hot water. Yeah. So a situation, a scenario, an action that will bring out the qualities in us or in another person to show whether we have those leadership traits. Now, I would like to share with you something that uh, that is quite old school. It's an old story, but I think it is something that will make us wonder, stop and wonder. Do I have that in me? Is there something that I'm uh, unhappy about that I want to do something about? Yeah. So let me start off with Gandhi. One of my favorite leadership study, Gandhi. The story is that he was in a train. He was in the first class carriage. Yeah. So there are a few carriages. He was in the first class. And when the conductor came to check the for the tickets, the conductor realized that Gandhi, who is colored, a person of color, is in the first class carriage. Yeah, so you have the first class and you have the regular carriages. Now back then, first class carriage was for whites only. People of color couldn't be in the first class carriage. So the conductor said to Gandhi that you cannot be here, you need to be in the regular carriage. Yeah. And Gandhi said that now this by profession, by training, he's a lawyer. Yeah. He said that he got the ticket, he got a legit ticket to be in the first class carriage. So they argued, and then eventually Gandhi was thrown out of the train. Now, you see, Gandhi was not groomed to be leader. Gandhi was not trained to be leader. He was trained to be a lawyer. Yeah. So, what made him who he is or who he was? Yeah. What made him the Prime Minister of India, and he brought India to independence? What is it? Some would argue that the turning point was that train incident when he was thrown out of the train. See, when he was thrown out of the train, it's this unsettled thought that why did this happen? Yeah, why did this happen? This can't be it. Now, it's not sympathy. Yeah, he has sympathy with himself. He thought to himself that how come? How could this happen? Yeah, how could this happen? And from that moment onwards, he went on to fight the system. Yeah, the apartheid, whereby the blacks and whites are separated, and the blacks or the people of color are considered less. Yeah, less. Right. So the question now to us or to you is, what is it that you're unhappy about? That to you, it's no, this can be it. Yeah, the thing is, this can be it. Or in Malay, they would say, ini tak boleh jadi ni. Right? This can be it. And you lose sleep over it. Yeah, it's very unsettling. It's quite disturbing that no lah, this can be it. This can be it. Now, if you have that niggling feeling or that thought, that would be a turning point. That would be something that an opportunity for you to do something about it, and therefore exert your leadership skills, or rather put you in a position of leadership. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whether you have followers or not. It's a matter of taking that first step first. Yeah. Walking that path, and then people who buy in to your vision, to what you're fighting for, they will join you in your crusade or in your mission, or they will support you. Yeah, the leaders will come later. So whether if you're concerned, if you have a title like a Tan Sri or Dato or Doctor or the title of a general manager to be a leader, to start making a difference? I would argue not. I would argue not. I would just say that as long as you have a direction, a vision, and someone somehow will find it compelling, and someone will be drawn to it, and then someone will follow in your footsteps. Yeah. Simply put, you see something that others don't. Yeah. You sit high on the tree. Yeah. You're perched on a branch, and you can see something that is better, that is beneficial, that leaves a positive impact or makes a difference. And people will buy your idea. Yeah. Okay. So that is the example of Gandhi, where he was thrown out the train and he thought to himself, no, this can't be it. I want to do something about it. Okay. Now, the other example, also one of my favorite leadership study, is Nelson Mandela. So what happened was, again, oppression. People of color in South Africa, they were bullied, they were tortured, they were put into prison, they were raped for no reason. Yeah. And for Mandela and his comrades and his people, this can be it. This can be it. Right. So the question to you now is, what is that thought or feeling that you're unsettled about and you want to do something about it? Yeah. And something that you can do within your capacity. Yeah. Whether you have financial means, whether you have the ideas, whether you have people to influence, what are things that you can do to make a difference? And usually, you can start with something as simple as talking about it, yeah, encouraging others. Now, so leadership is not something in the military, in politics, what else? Military, politics, and religion. Those are the I would say classic areas of leadership. It's either military, politics, or religion. But now, after the Industrial Revolution, we have leaders, we have modern leaders, leaders in the workplace, leaders in science and technology, and also thought leaders. Yeah. So I would say in today's world, everyone has the avenue, the opportunity to exert their leadership, to bring changes, to make changes. Yeah. Okay. The other example was Nelson Mandela. Now, so that is the first step, which is, what is it that you want to fight for? What are you unhappy about? Yeah. But then again, there are leaders who are already were born into the system, who were groomed. Yeah. For example, Uncle Aziz. For example, who is that guy? Najib. Yeah. What's the Najib? These are people who were already born into a business, who were born into what do you call it? Politics. Yeah. Whereby their parents or their fathers were already people in positions of leadership. However, I don't want to talk about that group of people because they have an advantage. Yeah, I want to talk more about people who came from nothing. Yeah, who were commoners and who made a tremendous impact in other people's lives, or in in a country or in a society. Yeah, in a community. Now, one thing interesting about Gandhi that makes me in awe, yeah, Gandhi and Mandela, is the perseverance, the fire in them to keep going, keep going, keep going. Let's start with Gandhi. Yeah? Have you heard about the Salt March? Has anyone here heard about the Salt March? So what Gandhi did was, okay, so what happened was, the British, the ruling power, the colonials, they imposed tax on locals that were mining salt from the ocean. Now, The locals, they're poor, they're fishermen. Yeah. This coastal, I would say, kampungs, yeah, they were harvesting, they were harvesting salt from the ocean. And so the British, they imposed a tax. Yeah, they imposed a tax on the salt that was produced. Now, Gandhi was, of course, unhappy with this. How can you impose a tax on this? Number one, you rule us, and on top of that, you oppress us, and on top of that, you take advantage of it. You exploit us even further. And we are poor peasants. We live a simple life. We are farmers, we're fishermen, and you want to further tax us. So that is something that Gandhi was very unhappy about. So what he did was he went to educate, to create awareness, to fight against this system, yeah, the salt tax. He went from village to village. Yeah, he walked. He walked up to 300 kilometers. Can you imagine you walking for 300 kilometers for something that you want to talk about, something that you want to fight for? 300 kilometers is like walking from here, KL, to, I think, correct me, Penang. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's about 300 kilometers. For me, even if you ask me to walk from here to KLCC, it's a drag. Yeah, it's a drag. But for him to walk 300 kilometers for something that he's unhappy about, and he wants to fight, and he wants to champion. Okay, now, whereas for Mandela, what made me realize that he had the fire in him, that he kept going, is the fact that he was in prison for 27 years. Can you imagine being in prison, which is about 1 arm's length, and yeah, it's about what? His cell was about 8 feet by 6 feet. Yeah? Can you imagine being in a cell, being in prison, that big or rather that small, and coming out of prison, continuing where you left off? So, let's say I want to fight for a better education system. Yeah, and let's say I'm at what, 25 years of age. Yeah, still a young person. They call it a young blood. So I feel that this is a great injustice. I think that our education can be a bit more fair and can be a bit more, I would say, accessible to every one of us. Yeah, good quality education. And then being put behind bars. Now, 27 years, 27 years, 27 years later, I come out of prison and I still have that fire in me to want to continue to fight for better education. So how is that possible? And think about it, yeah. When I come out of prison 27 years later, I'll be 53 years old, or 52 years old. Yeah. For Mandela's case, it was even more. He went to prison, I think, when he was in his 30s. Yeah. And when he came out of prison, can you imagine how old he was? Yeah. And he continued fighting. He continued where he left off. That 27 years in prison did not douse the fire in him, did not kill his desire to want to make a difference, which is to abolish apartheid. So he became the president of South Africa, and he abolished apartheid. So can you imagine? So now the question first is, what is it that you're happy about? What is it that you're willing to fight for? And question number two, how far would you go? Would you walk 300 kilometers to stand for something that you believe in, to fight for something that you believe in? And would you go to prison for 27 years to stand up for what you believe in? If you can answer these two questions, then yes, please go ahead. Yeah, there is something worth fighting for. There is something worth living for. Yeah, and you will make a difference. So now, let's go back to us on a day-to-day basis. The fire in us. What is the fire in us? What is it that motivates us to want to do something about it? And we are wanting to challenge the status quo. It means we cannot accept things as they are. Yeah. So one of the definitions of leadership is to have a vision, to see something. In other words, a brighter future. Yeah. A better state of being. Yeah? Well-being, whether it's at the workplace, whether it's in education, it's politics, it's the environment. And then we need to ask ourselves, is it something that you're willing to do over and over again, every single day? Yeah. Are you willing to create a better work environment? Put in the effort every single day, bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Yeah. Okay, so that is us first. Do we have a vision? And is it something that we're willing to stand up for, to fight for, even though it means walking 200 kilometers or being in prison for 27 years? Yeah. Okay, now once you have that vision and you start walking towards it, yeah, you want, of course, resources, you want manpower, you want people to support you. Right. That is when your skill as a salesman comes in. Yeah. What are you trying to sell? You're trying to sell your vision. You're trying to sell your idea. Yeah. So that is your influencing skills. How can you influence other people to see what you see and walk in that direction? So this is the definition of leadership. One is to create a compelling vision, to create an idea. And then, of course, you need to model the way. Model the way means you need to walk the talk. You need to show it in your everyday behavior that this is something that you are willing to fight for. Yeah. And then, are you able to influence others to get others on board? Because you need manpower. You need people to push your agenda. Yeah. To change or to challenge the status quo. Skill number 3 is, are you able to empower and motivate them? Your followers, your people, be it your subordinates, be it your employees, or be it members of a club or your community, are you able to motivate and empower them? Yeah, by giving them resources, by delegating, by giving them the trust, giving them responsibilities. And then lastly is, can you make them responsible for the actions? So whether they succeed or fail, yeah, they will feel it. They think it's their doing. So can we create the vision? Can we model the way? Yeah, walk the can we inspire others? Can we sell the vision? And then can we motivate and empower them? And then can we make them responsible for the actions? So that is a very classic definition of what leadership is, right? Okay. So do you have any questions so far? Do you have any lollipop moments in your life? Did you witness any lollipop moments before? If you have, I would recommend that, hey, get the lollipop, give it to the person, and explain to the person why. Why is it that you're giving this lollipop to him or her? Yeah. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. My next question is, what is it that you want to experience the difference in? Whether it's politics, is it the environment? Is it public transportation? Is it education? Is it the elderly? Is it the less privileged? Is it the orphans? What is your niche? What sector or what area that you want to make a difference in? In sports, in business? Okay. Because the reason I'm asking is because I want to share with you video clips that may inspire you, yeah, may give you some ideas as to how is it that you can make changes in that particular field or that particular area aspect of uh, governance. Yeah. So some of the examples that I have with me is the universal basic income, the zero waste in a town in Japan. What else do I have? I also have examples in let's see now. Yeah, universal health coverage, and also Hong Kong's transport system. So these are video clips that may inspire you to make changes in those particular areas of governance. Yeah. Right. So question is, do you have anything that you want to make a difference in? Do you have any unsettling emotions, or do you have any ideas on how you can make changes where you're at with the people around you? It could be your children, it could be your nephews, your nieces, it could be your workplace. Is there something worth fighting for? And what are the small steps, small things you can do to start making a difference? For example, workplace. You feel that workplace is a bit drab. It's a bit, the office is a bit boring. Yeah, it's too mundane and it's too stiff and cold. So what are the things that you can do to make it livelier, to make it warmer, to make it more dynamic and open? Yeah. Maybe you want to reposition the arrangement of your office, or maybe you want to set up a pantry, or maybe you want to have a coffee conversation once a week, where or you can call it a knowledge sharing session, where people get to share their expertise, their knowledge in their particular role. Yeah, just create an avenue for people to share, have an open communication. Yeah. So these are the small changes that you can do at the workplace to bring about changes on a bigger scale later on. So do you have any ideas that you like to share with me? What are the changes that you would like to see happening for yourself and for the people around you, whether professionally or personally? Anyone? So your role as a senior executive or your role as a manager, what other changes can you bring? Now, leadership is something that is not required if you're in a position of management. So if I'm a manager, my role is to manage. My role is yeah, my role is to manage accordingly based on I use KPI, I use other tools and matrices, and I ensure that the job gets done. Yeah, now that's managing. That is something that can be measured, and I'm being compensated, or rather, I'm being paid to carry out my duties as a manager. But one thing about leadership is that is something that if you want, you can take it on. Otherwise, leadership is something that is optional. It's either do you want to take it on or not. Yeah. Do you want to exert your leadership qualities or your leadership competencies? Yeah. You don't need to. As a manager, do you need to lead your people? I would argue no. I would say that you need to manage your people. Yeah. You need to get them to do something to get things done, which is required by the company. Yeah. Which is what do you call that? Uh, uh, which is laid down by your in your rules and in your roles and responsibilities. Yeah. Whereas leadership is something that you, I would say, take on additionally. Yeah. You willingly want to work on a cause that is greater than you, bigger than you. Yeah. You're not content with just getting a paycheck. You're going to work, getting a paycheck. Okay, done. You feel that there's more to life. There's more to you. There's more to just work. So you might want to assume this leadership role and do something about it. Yeah. So that is at the workplace. What about among your circle of friends? In your community, perhaps you belong to a certain sports community, a club. What difference do you want to make there? How would you want to exert your leadership abilities or leadership competencies there? Which is a bit more difficult there, a bit more challenging. Why? You don't have a position, you don't have a title. So here at the workplace, I could be a manager. So it's I already have an upper hand on influencing people, on exerting my authority. Yeah, I already have a title of a manager, of a director, of a senior. But away from the workplace, among your circle of friends, yeah, uh, no one, no one should listen to you. I would be, who are you to tell me what to do or what not to do? Yeah. So I would say that's even more challenging. Away from work, whereby you don't have authority in people, except your children or nephews and nieces or people who are younger than you. How can you make a difference? How can you get people to buy your idea and empower them, motivate them towards getting closer to the vision, getting the job done? One of the ways is, of course, using money, yeah, financial resources, organizing events, doing things, buying merchandise, buying equipment that will empower people to move towards direction, to get things done. Yeah. For example, if let's say I feel very unsatisfied with how the environment is. Yeah, I want people to be more eco-friendly. Yeah, to have habits or practices that are eco-friendly. So I can, yeah, using my resources, I can start giving people tote bags, cloth bags. My friends, I can start with my friends first. I can say, hey guys, you know what? Using plastic bags is not sustainable. It's not good for the environment. Here, use these tote bags, use these tote bags, use it. So that is one of the ways that I could, or I could start a campaign. I could start a movement. Maybe I can start creating videos. Maybe I can make t-shirts that has a message on it. Yeah, tell people to go green or to reduce waste or to join this, download this app. Yeah, all right. So that one requires a bit of your financial resources, yeah, your monetary funds. So if you see any avenues in either your professional or your personal life, please do come with us, yeah, and let's see if we can inspire each other. Okay, right. Next. So the question is, what are the qualities based on Atika's comment just now? Yeah, what are the qualities of a great leader, or what are the qualities that makes a person uh, a good leader? Is it intelligence? Is it charm? Is it able to think, forward thinking and having a vision? What is it? What is it about a person or a leader that you think makes him or her a good leader? What are the traits? What are the qualities? Anyone? Is it intelligence or is it wisdom? Which is more important, intelligence or wisdom? Do you need to be creative or do you need to be imaginative? Do you need to have resources or do you need to be resourceful? So if you do have any traits or characteristics of a great leader, please do share. Vision, communication, and wisdom. Great, Atika. Thank you very much. Right, Atika, I would agree with you when you mentioned vision, being able to see, especially seeing forward, what's ahead of us, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. What is it that you can do today that will make an impact 30 years from now? Now, if you look at, let's take a very good example close to home, which is Mahathir, Tun Mahathir Mohamad. Now, if you were to have a time machine, you go back in time, let's say 50 years back in time. So now it's 2021. Let's go back to 1980 lah. Yeah, let's take 1980. Okay, so you go back in time. I don't know how, maybe you have a machine, and you show the people there how KL looks like, how Malaysia looks like in 2020. So with you, you have an album, a photo album, and you show people, hey, look, this is how KL is going to look like in 2020. What would people say to you? What would their responses be? They see pictures of the KL tower, the trains, the LRTs. They see pictures of imported cars, futuristic, modern-looking cars. They see skyscrapers. They see all kinds of facilities and amenities. What do you think people back in the 80s would think? They would think that you are crazy, that you're a madman. What's this? If I'm living in the 1980s or even way back, I would think that life is just this Saupadi, and then we have people travel using beca, tricycles, rickshaws, using bicycles. People still keep chicken and cows. People do a bit of farming. I think that is the status quo. But instead, Mahathir had other things in mind. He had this vision that Malaysia would produce their own cars. Malaysia would have a skyscraper. Malaysia would host a Formula One event. Who would have thought about that? Malaysia would joint venture with multinational companies like IBM and Dell. Who would have thought of that? So based on what Atika said, vision. Leaders have this vision, this picture in the head that there is a possibility of this happening. This picture or this painting of how things will look like 100 years from now. They have it in their head. Okay, and then wisdom. Atika mentioned wisdom. What's the difference between wisdom and intelligence? And how can you measure wisdom? How You can measure knowledge. Yeah, you can do an IQ test. You can sit for IELTS. You can see how competent you are when it comes to your language, your math, your science. But wisdom, how do you measure wisdom? So this one again, I would like to go back to the video clip that I mentioned. Yeah, when Odin expelled Thor from Asgard, uh, it's because he had the wisdom. He knew that Thor, yes, Thor is next in line to be king of Asgard. But because Thor did something that Odin finds it's too brash. It's based on his what do you call it, desire to prove to people of Asgard that he can be king. Yeah, that he can wage a war. Yeah, he has the strength and intelligence to wage a war against the Jotunheims. Why? Because he wants to influence the people of Asgard. Yeah, to show that he has the strength to be king. So for Odin, that is a bit immature. That is something not far-sighted. Yeah. So that is why Odin expelled Thor from Asgard, even though Odin is his son. Yeah. I find that is a very good, even though it's very short, it's a good video clip to show what wisdom is. Yeah. Having the wisdom to make that decision. All right. Having a vision, being able to communicate your vision. Yes, exactly. You want to influence others. You want to motivate others. You want to sell a vision. Therefore, you need to be able to communicate well. Not just speaking, yeah, but also others. For example, this Owasan 2020, Vision 2020. There was a song behind it. Yeah. I cannot go around telling people what Vision 2020 is by giving them a document. No, this is Vision 2020. Read about it. People will, most of us will be put off by it. But what if you turn it into a song? Yeah, and you play this song, you broadcast this song on television, on radio, and because songs are catchy, yeah, then it sticks in your head. So that is one way of influencing others, getting others to think about what is it you're wanting them to believe in, wanting them to see. Yeah, all right. Okay, now, so there's what Atika said, yeah, wisdom, yeah. And I gave the example of Thor and Odin, yeah. I'd like to give you another example. And this one is real. It's not superheroes, it's real. It's James Damore and Sundar Pichai of Google. See, what happened is Google organized the seminar on equality, yeah, inclusiveness. And James Damore, he's an engineer with Google. He attended this seminar. And at the end of the seminar, the organizers asked for feedback. They wanted to know what the participants think about the seminar or about equality. So James Damore gave, I would say, very formal feedback. Yeah, he gave a written document on what he thinks about equality. Now, in his document, in his memo, he talked about the difference between the genders, the men and the women. And he put forth facts. Yeah, he put forth the science behind his arguments, behind his statements. Because he's an engineer, therefore he's very methodological and he's quite scientific in his approaches. Sorry. However, his feedback or his memo caused a lot of, I would say, arguments. Because he said that women cannot go far in management because women you see less women in science, in engineering, because so he argued as to why there's a difference in gender, men and women. So this stirred a lot of controversy. This made people unsettled. they were they were arguing as to they were unhappy or upset why James Damore brought up this topic. Yeah. So now there is unrest in the company. People are not happy about it, and they pushed for Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, to take action, which is to fire James Damore. Yeah, which is to punish this behavior. So now you have, if you are the CEO of Google, you might, what decision will you make? On one hand, you have freedom of speech, whereby one being Google and two being America, yeah, whereby freedom of speech is highly valued. On the other hand, you also have harmony, workplace harmony. Now, if you are the CEO of Google, which one is your priority? Would you prioritize what do you call that, freedom of speech, where everyone can say anything, yeah, anything? It's a matter of your maturity to accept it or not, yeah, to analyze it, to think about it, or do you appreciate harmony, always harmony? Okay, now for Sundar Pichai, he decided that no, I think maintaining harmony is more important than freedom of speech. Therefore, he decided to terminate James Damore. Yeah, it's quite a I would say talked about case among psychologists, among human rights activities. So now, what can we learn about it is that values, knowing your values will help you make decisions, especially when you're in a position of leadership. So as a leader, which value you prioritize? Freedom of speech or harmony? Then that will help you to make decisions. Yeah. So closer to yourself, what are your values? And you will make decisions based on your values. Do I value health more than money? If that's the case, then I would spend less time making money and more time exercising, eating well. Do I value teamwork over, let's say, being right? So therefore, I will sometimes put aside what I think is right in order for me to collaborate, to work better with my team. But for some other people, no. The facts, the truth is more important than teamwork. So they would rather go solo, or they would rather what do you call that? Add their displeasure, or disagree and not cooperate, because they feel that, look, being right, yeah, this truth is more important than teamwork. For you, maybe ethics, yeah, ethics is of a high value. Therefore, you might want to look for organizations or companies that has high ethical standards. Yeah, your behavior is beyond what is right and wrong. Yeah. Okay. Maybe for you, your value could be, let's say, integrity. Your value could be contribution. Yeah. Want to contribute is something that you really value. So the things that you do on a daily basis, on a regular basis. If you do things based on your values, it becomes easier for you. It will be a drag. The decisions that you make on a daily basis is based on your values. Now, so there are a few websites whereby you can find out what your personal values are. Yeah? There is one that is I highly recommend. It's very easy, very simple. It gives you what are your top 5 values, and try to live your life based on those values. Yeah, it's easier for you to make decisions. Should I spend my money on this or that? Should I spend more time on this or that? Should I work for this company or that company? Should I do this or should I do that? Yeah. One of the ways to help them decide is by knowing your personal values. All right. Thank you very much. Now, let's see if you can access the other video clip. Yeah. I'm going to share with you. Okay. Later, when I'll share with you the video clip. Right. Next is, I'm going to give you some quotes. And I'd like you to guess who said this. Right? Who said this? Heroes are made by the path they choose, not the powers they are granted with. Anyone would like to take a guess? Who said this? I give you a clue, yeah? It's a superhero. All my examples will be from superheroes. Okay? The answer is Iron Man. Yep, Iron Man. Atika, did you copy the quote and put it in Google? Okay, the other one. Let's see now. Can you guess who said this? Atika, any guesses? Yeah, it is Thor. All right. One more. Last one. Number 3. I like this one. I like this one. Right? Who said this? And the answer is Batman. Right? I like this. Why? It's again, it relates to the video clip, the first video clip that you watch, the Lollipop Moments. Yeah. Leadership is something that can be experienced, can be done daily. Yeah. It's something that we can do. We can make a difference in our lives and in the lives of other people. Leadership is not something that is beyond us or is something better than us. Leadership is not just about being a politician and making changes in this country on a big scale. And leadership can be as simple as making a difference in another person's life. Yeah. Right. So just to recap, yeah, leadership is the definition is simple. Having a vision, yeah, and then also living up to the vision. In other words, walking the path, yeah, modeling the way, and then influencing others and motivating others towards that vision that you created, encouraging them and making them responsible, making your followers responsible for the achievement. Right? So if you want to practice self-leadership first, it is, what is the better version of yourself? That will be your vision. That will be your homework. What is the a better version of yourself? Yeah, and how do you get there? What are things that you can do every day to walk the path to be a better version of yourself? When you can make a difference to yourself, whether it's your finances, your health, your career, your business, your spirituality, then that is when you start influencing other people. Now, other people might be, hey, how did you do it? Hey, how did you do it? How did you do it? Yeah. All right. One of the things that I would highly recommend you to do to 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 practice self leadership is having a high level of self awareness or self mastery of your thoughts and your emotions. Yeah, having self control, self restraint, and also being able to create a better version of yourself. One of the ways of how you can create, of how you can encourage yourself today, yeah, to become the person that you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, is as simple as writing a letter to yourself. Yeah. Write a letter to yourself. So imagine you 10 years from now or 20 years from now, a better version of yourself, right? Imagine that person. So how are you like? How would you carry yourself? How would you speak? How would you think? Yeah. How would you look like? What would be your level of intelligence? What would be your level of wisdom and what do you call that? Purpose in life, right? Imagine that, and then write a letter. So in that position, imagine yourself, that person, write a letter to yourself today. Yeah. Giving yourself tips, ideas, information, encouragement. What are things that you can do from today onwards to become the person you are 10 years from now? Yeah, a better version of yourself. So that is an exercise that I would highly encourage. And if I have a class program, that is one of the activities that I do. Now in the classroom, yeah, everyone get a piece of paper, get a pen, write a letter from the state, from the position of you 10 years from now, a better version of yourself. Write a letter to yourself today. Put it in an envelope, seal the envelope, and maybe a week, a month later, you read it, then you keep it in your drawer, and then you read it from time to time. Just remind yourself to move towards being that better version of yourself. Yeah, that is something that I do as well. Okay, right. Let's see if you can click on this link and watch this video. Odin takes Thor's power. All right, here's the link. Could you please click on the link and enjoy the video clip? All right, thank you. So from the video clip, you can see that Thor is very eager, very hungry, wanting to be a king, wanting to be a leader. Yeah. So the difference between intelligence and wisdom could be ego, arrogance. Yeah, yeah, true. Atika, I would agree with you. Uh, it's for Thor. It's about showing his bravado. He's hungry, like he wants to show to people that he can go to war and win the war. Yeah, they call it Darah Muda. Yeah? Very eager to prove himself. But one thing that Odin says is this behavior can somehow undo what has already been done, what he has struggled to do. Okay, so in the movie, Odin, what he did was he united the realms. Yeah, he went to war and he united the realms, the nine realms. Whereas for Thor, he wants to get the other realms to surrender themselves to Asgard to show that we are more superior than you. Yeah, we can take control of you and destroy you. Yeah. And another thing you notice is that Odin is way older than Thor. So another thing about wisdom is that it comes with age. Yeah. So the difference is between ego, arrogance. Yeah. Right. Now we have leaders who are becoming younger and younger and younger. We have example Sadik. Yeah. Still relatively young, but already holding positions of leadership. Yeah. So the question is, will will people of a younger age, let's say below 40 or below 30, can they make good leaders? Can they become good leaders? They may have the intelligence, they may have the eagerness, the enthusiasm, their ideas, but do they have the wisdom to be able to do what's necessary and to wait? Hang on, just a second. Yeah, let me think about it further. Let me see how this goes. Yeah, will they have the patience to endure? All right. So there's something for us to think about. Yeah. Could we say that wisdom? Yep. So, what do you think, Atika? How would you? Oh no, that's Eugene. Ah, right, Eugene. Cornelius. Yeah, Eugene. Thank you for your question. Could we say that wisdom comes with experience more so than age? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, how do you get experience? How do you get experience? How can you get more and more and more experience, Eugene? So, Atika, what will be the answer to your question? What is the difference between intelligence and wisdom? Is it ego? Is it arrogance? And for Eugene, comes with experience. Yeah. So for Eugene, my question to your question is, how do you gain the experience? Is it by reading books? Is it by going to college? How do you get those real life experiences? That gives us the wisdom, the maturity. right? So if I were to answer Eugene's question, cumulative, yep, not just book knowledge, but as you mentioned, the true. Yep, exactly. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Eugene. It's time will tell. If, for you to get more experience, you need to do more of that thing. In other words, you need to live, you need to go through life longer. Yeah. So, how do you get more experience pertaining to your job, pertaining to your work? How do you get more experience when it comes to relationships, dealing with people? How do you get more experience when it comes to finances? It's by going through it, yeah, and that takes time. So one of the perks of getting older, one of the perks of aging is that you gain wisdom. It's because you go through the cycle over and over and over again. Yeah, you for example, let's take example of Asgard, yeah, Odin and Thor. It's because you go through wars, you go through disagreements, you go through building your nation, and then seeing your nation having a downfall, and then rebuilding it again. So that cycle of going through it, going through it, makes you see certain patterns, makes you see certain things that, all right, I saw this happening last 5 years. I saw this happening for the past 10 years. So, yeah, you got more to refer to. Yeah. Based on my 1 year experience of, compared to based on my 10 year experience of, compared to my 15 years experience in, so going through the motions, yeah, the year in year out, that gives you wisdom, that gives you that gives you more experience, and therefore by having more experience, because you get to compare and contrast, yeah, that gives you of course more insights. So you can translate this insight into, or you can uh, uh, another word for insight, yeah, would be wisdom. Right. Could we say that wisdom comes with experience more than age? Yeah. Okay. It comes with age, lah. Wisdom comes with age. I can't see of any other way. I can't see of a 21-year-old person being wise, or a 35-year-old politician having wisdom. Yeah. Prove me wrong. I would like you to challenge me to prove me wrong, that wisdom doesn't come with age, that wisdom doesn't come with experience, or wisdom is not as important as rigor, as vitality, as ideas or enthusiasm. Like Thor, for example, he has the energy, he has the drive, but the direction, yeah, where is he channeling his energy to? Is it to show people of who he is, or is it because he's thinking about the kingdom and how to build a harmonious realm among the nine, a harmonious, I would say, environment between the nine realms? Yeah. Okay, Atika, are you able to answer your own question? The difference between intelligence and wisdom, is it arrogance? And what do you mean by ego? Yeah. What do you mean by ego? I'm quite careful to use the word ego, because for us psychologists, therapists, ego is not a bad word. Ego is not to describe that you have pride or arrogance. Ego is something that we all have. Arrogance is a more, I would say, a more accurate word to use. For example, when you want to describe Odin, yes, I would say that he's arrogant. Right. Thank you very much, Atika and Eugene, for your two questions. Arrogance then. Okay, arrogance then. Yeah. Atika, I would recommend you look up the word, sorry, what is it? The word ego, yeah, and what it means. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Atika and Eugene, for your response. Atika, especially. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there are no further questions, then I'd like to end today's coffee conversation regarding leadership. So, one key takeaway from today's program is get yourself some lollipops, yeah, and identify individuals who have said something or done something which has a profound impact on your life, yeah, and give this person a lollipop and tell the person why. Appreciation, acknowledgement. Yep, acknowledgement. Acknowledge gesture or an action that you think is a leadership quality. All right. Any other questions? Let me just leave my phone number here. So in case you want to connect with me or you want to communicate with me, if you have any other further questions, please, I would welcome. So 012, oh, sorry, 914, is that correct? Oh, no, it's 914. Sorry, it's not 005. Yeah. So here's my number. Correction, it's 012 914. It's not 014, it's 914 2205. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in this third coffee conversation with Surain Victor. Um, I really appreciate the questions and the responses from Atika and also Eugene. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Do get yourself some lollipops and do acknowledge people who have expressed or shown their leadership abilities, yeah, or traits. Yeah. If there are no other questions, I'll like to say thank you very much and have a great day ahead. And I'll see you soon. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Atika. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Karen.